want to talk about this car today. So sometime early, you could say mid 2021, so I started to have this desire to start a Peugeot 504 GL project. So of course, to do that I have to first find the vehicle. Now I have a different plan. I didn't want a finished vehicle, so I preferred a vehicle that already like one I could buy and then build it up the way I want, because I actually have plans. When I mean plans, I mean I didn't want it to be like the standard GL. I wanted it to have some, in other words, change the specification, put something else that I probably wouldn't mind. For example, I wanted a different 2.0 liter engine, even though basically the same engine but not identical. So I wanted a 5-speed manual transmission, which we not find on the standard GL. So it was like a project. So I didn't want a full vehicle where I'll just buy and use it the way it was, or I find it. Okay, so I started the search and started gathering the parts, the components that I actually will need for that. And eventually, last year, I changed my mind. I was like, you know what? I think I'm done trying to find a 504 GL, at least the body that is in good condition enough for me to do that kind of project. So I decided, you know what? Between 504 and 505, 505 still remained to me an improvement on 504. However, I could actually get a 505 and turn it the way I would want the GL to be, the 504 GL. So I changed my mind, modified the project, and decided to get a 505 instead. Note that I actually have 505. Since if I actually have owned how many 505 now? But the point is this, even while I was searching for a 504 GL, I already have a 505, but a V6 engine. But this time I wanted a carburetor engine. So to cut it short, so I got this. And this is Peugeot 505 ST. And this is a facelifted model, was produced in the 90s. And so this is a saloon, right? And of course there are options. I'm not sure I can get 505 ST in station wagon or estate, but I think mostly you can get it only on ST. I'm not sure, don't quote me, but for what I've seen so far, especially when they were still new, the only AC you could get will most likely be saloon. Now, what is 505 ST? Of course, ST is just a badge, kind of trying to give you the vehicle specification. So now the ST foreign assemble might be different from ST Nigerian assemble 505. So if you are to say what is made up of 505 ST, or what exactly is 505 ST Nigerian assemble, what I will tell you is this: 505 ST is basically 505 evolution, but with different body. What I mean body, same body, but some of the attachments you'll find on 505 evolution, you won't find it on 505 ST. 505 evolution, different bumper, side skirt, has some padded on the doors and the rest. So 505 evolution is like the peak, what Nigerians call full option, which is exactly the same thing with this, because it has almost everything you could think of in evolution, almost everything. Same engine, same carburetor, same gearbox, same electronics inside, or gadgets, whatever you can think of, power steering, AC. Like I said, almost everything. So it was I would consider ST a 505 evolution in a standard body, period. because 505 Evolution was just completely different. So of course, when I got this car, I had my plan, like I said, on what I want the project to look like. So I told myself whether it was going to be 504 GL or 505, that will end up being the project, that it must be white color. What I mean is, even if I get it in a different color, body color, I must turn it to white color at the end, before I conclude the project. Because why do I prefer white? Because the project I started was basically just to replicate my former GL. I've used GL before, which basically I took over from my father, used it for years, and I enjoyed the 504 GL is driving experience. Not just driving experience, ownership experience. So that's why I decided that I'm going to retain that color, the white. So it didn't come with this color when I got the car, but I ended up changing it to the color that I originally mapped out for the project. So I'm going to show you guys one. I don't want to waste so much time talking. I'm not going to do any drive, because that's not the intention of this review. Alright, so let's see. So hold on, so I can pull this camera from the wallet. Okay, so let's go to the car. Look at the body. So now this is not the standard alloy rim for Nigeria assembled ST. So because this one came with steel wheel, so I put this alloy rim. I got this alloy rim together with my 505 V6 in 2010, basically, when I ordered in 2010. So I now stored it, and eventually I had the need came up for me to bring it back, and I swapped it with the steel wheel this car came with. So this is a 15 inches alloy rim, and so as you can see, 2.0 badge. There's a badge here I couldn't get when they did the paint. It was there before the paint job, but I needed to remove it to get the paint properly done. But I've yet been able to get the badge, which is 5 speed. You always see it here on Nigerian Assemble 505, 5 speed, which was there before the paint job or the color change. So yeah, the color, like I said, this is a facelifted 505, or what you regard as phase 2. So of course this is the badge, the ST. So now still things I forgot to mention. Maybe I mentioned that when I opened the engine bay, but you know, the car got some juice. But of course, I'm not comparing it to modern Peugeot cars or modern cars, you know. But for cars, especially carburetor engine, natural aspirated 4-cylinder engine, in that era, I mean, man, the power, I could tell you, was quite impressive. Even till today, yeah, when you put it on the highway, yeah, trust me, it's enjoyable to drive. Okay, so let's look at the interior. Now the interior still needs some work to be done. This is the roof liner. The dashboard, I'm going to cover that dashboard. Anyway, I'll get back to it first. Now, of course, this is not the original color. Originally, it was velo or cloth. So they changed to this color. Actually, I don't have issue with the color of the leather used. Just don't like this the work done, especially on the front seat. So normally it's supposed to have a deep the seat is supposed to be a little bit deep this side, but they put foam here. Now when you sit down, it feels very uncomfortable. Basically, it's even the seat belt that's even pushing you back to the seat. Otherwise, it will be pulling you out without the seat belt. So eventually, how likely will take it to my FOC person to remove this leather and get rid of those foam they put under. I mean, feels uncomfortable most times. So like I said, the dashboard, I'm going to, you can see this, the previous owner attempted to put leather here, but it wasn't a neat job. So I'm going to get something to cover here. Even if I see another dashboard, you can see it has started cracking. They put all this, not a neat job. I won't bother replacing it because remember, I've owned quite a number of 505, more than 3 actually. And the dashboard is one of their weaknesses, both the phase 1 and phase 2. So even if you get one that's still new, put it, give it time, it's going to crack again or start breaking. So especially this phase shifted model. So I just get something and cover it and be done with it, and get rid of this, put something else there. So that's basically one thing about 505. If you are buying one is or sourcing for one, you need to get a sun blind here, because in my 505 V6 I had a powerful speaker which I mounted in 2011. Unfortunately, recently the speaker has failed because the sun hits it directly. So it was a mistake I made. I would have found a sun blind. I don't like tinting cars, which could have helped if I tinted it, but I prefer something else. Put a sun blind so that it will reduce the sun going straight to the speakers. These speakers are okay anyway, but if I keep using it like this without protecting it, they're going to fail. So yeah, this is basically the dashboard of this thing. Like I said, there's still some work to be done. It's a project, so I'm not yet done completely. And interestingly, let me point out some of the features, especially on the inside. Yeah, it has a central lock and the power window. So let's try it so you guys can see. Alright. I think it's only 2 Peugeot cars that have this sound. Can't get it. Can't get it from another vehicle, not just Peugeot. Very unique sound. Oh man, I think it's only 505 and 305. I think that has this kind of door sound. Alright, so let's see. So of course this is no longer factory radio. Funny enough, the stock radio that my 505 V6 came with, I actually still have it. I kept it. It's this cassette player, but what's the point? So let's check the power windows. 4 power windows actually. This is for the front windows. This is for the rear ones. So so ignition is on. So let's check it out. You can see. Let's check this one out. This is it. This is the one I better. So this is the real one. So funny enough, it has the same modern cars gadgets. For example, if you want to cut off the power supply to the rear window so that those at the rear cannot operate it, once you press this, it will cut it off. No matter how you press this switch, none of the windows behind will work. So that's impressive. This is remember, this is a design of 1986 design, and yet how many other brands that can actually, actually have this kind of, gadget as early as 1986. Even though you could say this is the 90s production, but at least the design, they were all introduced in 1986. This kind of gadget, this switch with 4 power windows. I think the power windows, I think they've always been there since 504 Ti and a few other batches. But at least Ti basically was a standard for at least the front windows were power windows. But I can't remember when the rear window started in 505. I think it was from phase 1, which is 1979. Alright, so yeah. Oh, let me show you guys the central lock. You can see all the doors will lock. Even controls, including this and the boot. So that's quite. This is all factory. These are not aftermarket. This is how the car was produced. I think by 1979, cars had a central lock 505. That's the phase 1 505. So this is not, like I said, people that look down on Peugeot, you can tell when they became this sophisticated when it comes to cars. So so that is it for the walking around the car, showing you guys interior. Like I said, interior still needs some work. So so what I'm going to do now is to drop the camera and open the bonnet so I can also show you guys some of the things. So let's see. Let's see. Wow. I have to drop this camera. Okay, let me drop this here. I can pick it up. I don't want to cut it off. Hold on. Okay, so I'm back. So, like I said, this is basically evolution in a standard body. So you can see the engine. This is a 2.0 liter engine, SN1A. That's the engine model. Produces about 107 horsepower with 169 Nm torque. So, like I said, this is a 1980s design. So I would consider this an impressive power, considering the when this was, you could say, conceived, the engine or the design. So so that is it for the engine. Of course, is fuel carbureted, as you can already see. So this is a double barrel carburetor. This is a carburetor that was mounted on all SN1A engines, at least on 505, since the 80s, if I would say. So this carburetor is a Solus carburetor, which is known as Solus 3434Z1. Some people regard this as a progressive carburetor, not double barrel. Well, whatever it, all I know is it has those 2 butterfly or 2 valves, that operate separately. So I still call it, as far as Peugeot is concerned, calls it 2 barrel carburetors, double barrel carburetors. So so that is it. Then of course other features, like you can see the AC compressor down there, and you can see the power steering pump down there. So like I said, these are the things you'll find on the Evolution, and so Um, so that's basically about it on the engine bay. Now this carburetor, yeah, it's doing its best, but because this is a new carburetor, so when I got the car, it came with the previous owner have converted it to single barrel. This Bisca, Soles Bisca, no 34 Bisca 3. So I have to get a mount this one, which is kind of acting up sometimes. So considering a different double barrel carburetor for it, so we'll see how it goes. But if this one works well, or you have a good one that works very well, it is very fuel economical, you know. And so that is it for the engine bay. I don't know if there's any other thing I need to point out. Of course, unfortunately for those of us here in Africa, what they introduced, at least Nigeria, for the cooling of the engine and the radiator was the mechanical fan that is locked to the engine water pump. Unlike the ones you find in other regions that had, what's it called? Trying to remember this name. The one that works with, man, it's mechanical but it's controlled electronically. So I'm trying to remember. There's a switch here. There's a switch here that controls it here. So, man, forgetting this name. Anyway, so this car, I don't really like this model. So I already have plans to convert it to electric fan at some point, or as soon as I can. So that is it for some of the things here. So the point is, the work is still ongoing, though gradually this time around, and I mean the project is not yet concluded, but to quite extent, yes. So let's see. Okay. So this is the rear view. I think the previous owner actually put some blind before, but I don't know, when I got the car it didn't come with it, so one of those things anyway. So let's conclude this video. So I'm going to drop this camera on the tripod back. Let's see. Usually I will cut the video, and but this time I was like, that's pointless. Okay, so I think we are done with the engine bay. So you know, some people have issues with carburetor engines when it comes to cars like this. Personally, I don't have issue with carburetor. In fact, I actually sought after one with a carburetor. I don't want, because like I said, I want that GL experience. I want that classic car experience. EFI doesn't do it for me when it comes to classic cars. I just don't know. I could understand if it's factory, fine, but converting carburetor, I mean, the simplicity will be gone, right? So I understand the challenge in getting a good new carburetor that will serve you like those old ones we used back then when we were using GL. But if once you can get one, trust me. So yeah, I'm still sticking with the carburetor. I'm not converting it to EFI. I don't have any reason to do that. I would rather get many carburetors, as many as possible, and keep and spare. Anyone that gives me issue, I'll get rid of it, put another one, rather than doing that EFI conversion. That's me. So this as who knows what will happen, but it doesn't matter whether it's this car or not. I want that carburetor experience. So either this or another vehicle, I always have one. As long as I still have the means, I'm still here with you guys, breathing and the rest. So I think I'm done. So now what is it like to drive this car? Man, I forgot to mention it has a 5-speed manual transmission, which is a BA75. The rear differential, basically the final drive, originally it costs 411 or 4.1 ratio. That is, depending if you are technical, you could, from the differential, you can see 9 times 37, 9S37 engraved on it. So, but right now this one has 3.8 ratio differential final drive, because the one that I got the car with has some issues. Even though it was working, but not, they did some work on this which I didn't like. So at the time I was sourcing for it, the one I could find was the 3.8. So I had to now get it mounted there. So I still have plans. Whenever I come across 4.1, I'm putting it 4.1 there. Now some be wondering why bother. I've used both before. So the 4.1 tends to make the car much quicker or lower RPM than the 3.8. The 3.8, eventually when you gain the momentum on highway, you push it. But compared to 4.1, it was a perfect match. That's why they produced this car with 4.1 and 5-speed transmission and 2.0. It's just a perfect match. So I'm not telling you based on theory. I'm telling you what I experienced practically, physically by myself, not what somebody else said. So that's basically like what it's like to drive the car. Man, this car, of course, it is not as quick as newer cars, modern Peugeot cars and the rest, but man, I'll put it this way. When you're on a highway behind the wheel on this very car, the only thing that you will always be feeling is, man, which place should I go? Which journey should I embark on at that moment? You wouldn't want to stop. That's how I put it. Quick, yes. I'm not saying as quick as modern car, but is it quick? Yes, it is. Fast, you could say maybe not necessarily as fast as modern cars. You know, of course, if you ask me, I would say it's a little bit restricted in terms of maximum vehicle speed. You won't be able to get up to 200 kilometers per hour with this car. No, it doesn't matter how much power you put there. What I will tell you is, with this current rear differential on the car, it goes above the factory maximum vehicle speed. That's how I put it. I think the maximum is about 170 something, 170 something to 180 kilometers per hour. That's the maximum vehicle speed when you use that stock differential, which is the 4.1 ratio. But with this 3.8 ratio, it goes above that 170. So is it 176 or so? Basically, you just say approximately 180. So this one will go beyond that, you know. So, man, it's fun to drive this car. It's fun, you know. This is the only car that I drove straight for 2 weeks. I never bothered to take a break and drive my modern cars with more power. I mean, that's first 4-cylinder I've ever driven or owned, and drove it for straight 2 weeks plus. And I never even for once said, oh, I'm missing my V6 powerful cars or this or that. That's how I enjoy driving this car. Windows are always up, AC running most of the time. The power steering is there, you know, you want to feel modern. I mean, power windows, central lock. I mean, what more do you actually want in a car? I know you have the option to put an Android display there. I mean, like I said, for me, no, I want it classic, you know. It's just that putting the CD cassette there, player. No, I'm not talking of CD, cassette player. I mean, the stock one, the one that came with my 505 VCs. It still works, but come on. I don't listen to FM. Personally, I don't listen to FM. I don't listen to news station, nothing. I play what I want to listen to. So then what now happens? Cassette player, where we get cassette. So it means you have to find a way to dub and put those your songs you like on the cassette. It's too much headache. So I as well live with the CD player. You know, CD player is already obsolete actually. So, but at least I still work with it. As you can see, I put in my USB. Yeah, I have music stored. I play to it. So, man, so yeah, I love this car, and trust me, it's not just the look. It looks very masculine, aggressive, and you can't help but turn around and look at the car more than twice. This time, the era when they were producing building masculine looking cars, not what we have today. But hey, you know, people have different perspective when it comes to cars. Will I change it? Who knows? Will I get another one if I change it? Absolutely yes. So, is it for sale? We'll see. Maybe make me an offer that I won't be able to resist. As long as it's not my 505 VC, because that one is don't even bother. But this one, like I said, who knows? Maybe I might decide, okay, maybe your offer makes sense. You can go with it. I'll get another one, you know, and build it up like this one again. Yeah, I could consider that. But other than that, man, it's a joy to have. So, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and watch out for more videos like this. I think what next I probably will do, not next video, but I'll probably do a review or comparison of the 505 V6 and the 505 ST. This one and my V6 one, both sitting side by side. You know, I will look at that. And also we say, oh, drive it, want to feel, see what it. Maybe so, you know, I've done videos where I put camera while I'm on the road and the rest. So I think that should be enough for you to know what it feels like to drive. But here is about you to know about this car first. You know, what it looks like, what it drives like, what it's made of. Okay, so till next video.